everybody and welcome back to my channel. For those of you new here, hello, my name is Skylar. I am a certified dog trainer and pet nutritionist. Last week I made a video reporting on information shared by Dr. Judy Morgan on her Facebook page that claimed that there was certain pet food companies that may be connected to a new mystery illness among pets. Symptoms of this included pets going off of their food, bloody vomiting or diarrhea, seizures, and death in some cases. This is a situation that we still have a lot of questions about. There have been no recalls. Pet food companies really haven't said anything about this, and it's definitely in a speculative, investigative space. After seeing this information start to grow over the last couple of weeks, I made a video about it just to give all of you guys general information in case you hadn't seen the kinds of posts that I was seeing, so that you're aware and can make decisions for your pets based off of that information. On that video, I got a ton of questions in the comment section, and so we're going to go ahead and look through those questions, and I'm going to answer them to the best of my abilities based on the information available to me. I am certainly not on the front lines of this investigation and unfolding story, so all of the information I have is based off of the posts and information shared primarily by Dr. Judy Morgan, as well as a few others who are sharing this information and being very vocal about this online. I am editing this video now, and I just wanted to pop in real quick to give a shout out to Kelly Bone and the Facebook page Saving Pets One at a Time. They're the ones that are collecting all of this information. They're the ones that are giving the updates. They're the ones that the survey is through. And I mentioned Dr. Judy Morgan a lot in these videos because that's where I initially saw the information. But I did want to take a second to apologize to Kelly for not giving that credit, because so much work has been happening and I wanted to make sure that I took the time to do that. So all that extra information is going to be linked in the description below, and go back to the video now. I'm going to leave a bunch of information linked in the description below of all of those people and organizations in case you're interested in looking more into that yourself, as well as potentially filling out a survey if you feel that your pet may exhibit some of the symptoms, whether from the foods mentioned or additional foods. Again, these questions are being answered with the information available to me as of the day filming this, which happens to be Saturday, January 27th at 4 o'clock in the afternoon. There may be updates after I post this video, and if there are, I'll be sure to include those either in a pinned comment or in the link in the description box. And as always with my channel, my goal is to give you the information so that you can make the best decisions you can for your pet. Everyone is going to step away from videos like this with a different opinion and with a different action plan. I hope that by answering some of these questions, everything makes a little bit more sense for you. When I made my first video last week, I did put the emphasis on dogs. It has since been made known to me that this is affecting cats as well. There have been cats reported with these symptoms of food refusal, bloody stools, diarrhea, vomiting, seizures, potentially death. The cause of this mystery illness is also thought to be a supply contamination because there's so many different pet foods involved. And so if that is the case, it is likely that whatever company is using for their dog food, they are also using similar ingredients for their cat food. So if you're uncomfortable feeding your dog foods that have been included in this survey of pet owners, then your cats may fall under that same category. In the list published by Dr. Judy Morgan of pet foods that may be involved in this, there were some that were more specific names, such as Taste of the Wild, and there were others that were much broader names, like Purina. I interpret this to mean that multiple brands under those big umbrella names have had reports of these kinds of symptoms. Using Purina as an example, chances are that multiple brands under that Purina umbrella may have had reports of similar symptoms. For example, both Purina Pro Plan, Purina Beyond, any other Purina labeled food may also fall under this category, and regardless likely use similar if not the same sourcing across the board. Again, if this is a supplier contamination, which is the assumption that many people are basing this off of, then it is likely that that is included in a variety of those brands. Just something to think about and take into consideration as we all navigate these circumstances. I've also had questions of people asking if they should take their pets off of feeding treats that have been made by the brands named in this list. Again, working under the assumption that it's a supplier contamination rather than a brand contamination, since there's so many different foods that have been listed. In an abundance of caution, if you are wanting to avoid these brands, I would also avoid the treats themselves, because again, if it's a supplier issue, we don't know where in the supply chain this might be coming from. There's still a lot of investigating and a lot of reports coming in, and we just don't know that information yet. In an abundance of caution, it would totally be worth swapping off of those treats if that's what you feel most comfortable with. I've also had people from a few other countries concerned about this. I have to say, I am from the United States, and I don't know for certain if this is contained within the country or if other countries, specifically places like Canada, are also going to see these kinds of symptoms potentially pop up. I usually see this question in relation to champion pet foods, so Orijen and Acana, because they have both a Canadian manufacturing facility and a American manufacturing facility. The Canadian facility, I believe, makes food for everyone but the US, and the US facility makes food for the US. I am not sure in this particular instance with Champion. The sourcing of these ingredients might be different from manufacturing facility to manufacturing facility. They could be the same, they could be different. I'm not sure. I'm not sure if that's information that's even available right now to us. So with that said, again, abundance of caution. It might be best to avoid if you're concerned. If not, continuing to monitor for symptoms is going to be best. Same thing can be applied to the other brands. I believe that there have been symptoms found in other countries besides just the United States. I recommend that everybody, regardless of what you're feeding, just be aware of it. Continue to monitor your pets, and if you start to notice weird changes or any concerning health-related changes, absolutely take your pet to the vet. If you think that it could potentially have ties to foods, there's a survey that I'll leave linked in the description below that you can fill out and report that information, as well as some extra steps that you can take. And all of that information is available in that first video of mine. I also got a couple questions about whether this is truly food related. And I think ultimately there's nothing to say for certain that it's food related. However, based on the symptoms, food refusal, bloody vomiting or diarrhea, seizures, potential death, specifically the first couple, definitely can be food related. Those typically are the kinds of symptoms that we see if it is a problem with the food. There's another mystery illness going around, and that does have different symptoms from the ones that we're seeing currently, that we're currently talking about. However, a viral flu-like illness can't be ruled out completely because, quite frankly, right now we just don't have a ton of information. Continuing to monitor your dog. If you notice any changes in their behavior or their health, absolutely take them to the vet. Hopefully this video helps to clear up a few of those questions that have been popping up in the comment section. This is a lot of alleged information, but since I got so many questions about it and I've been seeing so much of this kind of information popping up over the last couple of weeks, I thought it was important to at least let it be known to the people who might want to know. And again, it's totally up to you what you do with this information. If you choose to continue feeding these foods and you don't see any signs of illness in your animals, that's absolutely great. If you are concerned and you'd like to switch, that's totally fine too. And if you have been noticing any of these symptoms in your animals, there is a survey available to report that information to the people who are collecting these kinds of things to notice if there is a pattern. It's also very, very important that you go to your veterinarian and you make sure that everything is handled on that end as well. Other than that, as of today, there have been no additional updates to any other pet food companies that have been added to the list that have been named in relation to having similar symptoms as the ones reported, and there have still been no recalls or anything like that. If this video was helpful, please be sure to give it a like and subscribe to my channel if you have not already, and I will see you in the next one. Bye! We're also gonna give a shout out to my little helper while I edit this, and I pet sit for my parents.